Hey guys, and welcome to the weekly news overview with everything that is going on in and around Battlefield 2042 and a quick look at the new weekly missions, modes and store items. And today we're gonna start with update 5.1 that was just released this morning and its most important changes. I've done a full rundown of the patch notes in my last video already, so if you haven't watched it yet, you can find a link to it in the info box. Or if you want to read through the notes yourself, you can find a link to them in the description below. Right here I only want to point out some of the most important gameplay changes again. And the first one is something I've been waiting for quite a while already and that was supposed to be part of this update, and that's the low health marker for vehicles in the deploy screen. And while it sounded great in the patch notes where it said that there will be a prompt shown when attempting to spawn at a vehicle that is in combat or on low health, the reality seems to be a bit different and surely not as intended. Cause no matter how much I tried and looked out for this warning and no matter how low the vehicle health was, there was no prompt coming up. And it was still possible for me to spawn on an MAV with only 2% health without knowing about this. The only thing I briefly recognized was an in-combat message at a helicopter, but I was monitoring this heli for quite a bit in the deploy screen and it was under fire a lot without any warning. So it seems to appear very random and surely not as intended. What is working on the other hand is the prompt for the CAV brawler when you want to spawn on foot on the outside of it, cause now there is a hint shown that says in combat when the vehicle is under fire, and in this case you are not able to spawn on it anymore. So this works and might prevent you from spawning straight into death, but the low health marker for vehicles is not there. What we got besides this is a preview for the setting of the minimap orientation, which can be found at display and then minimap, and on the right hand side you can now see an example of the HUD, and in the bottom left of it, it shows the minimap and also what kind of effect it has when you change the orientation. So that's pretty cool and definitely helpful to understand the effect of all these settings. If you haven't recognized it yet, we also got these kinds of previews for all other HUD elements over in the HUD scaling options, and here you can now also separately alter the scaling of vehicle seating and game hints, because this wasn't possible before and these two options were connected to each other. And at the start of round screen, you can now expand the player card backgrounds of your squad when pressing F on PC, X on Xbox or Square on PlayStation. And then there were some major changes made to the extraction mode Hazard Zone, and I gotta be honest, I usually ignore this mode, but today I gave it another try to see how it plays. So what was done is that the Hazard Zone coins that you needed to buy your loadout at the start of a round have been completely removed from the game, alongside this whole buy phase at the beginning and the reward payout at the end. Instead, you have this normal lobby screen now that you know from all other modes, and here you can freely select your loadout and choose your personal weapons and setups. As reward for successful extractions, you will now receive XP instead of coins, and the amount of XP depends on the number of data drives you have extracted. But you will also earn a lot of XP only by playing, even if you don't make it out alive. So Hazard Zone is definitely more fun now. In addition to this, the player count was made dynamic, which means when not enough players join the lobby within a certain amount of time, the count required to start a match will be automatically reduced to a minimum of 8. And that should make it possible for all regions worldwide to get into a match of this mode. If you haven't played Hazard Zone in a while, be sure to give it another try, it's definitely different now. Besides all of this, there were some more minor changes and bug fixes made, but like I said, if you want to read through the full notes yourself, just check out the link in the description. The map rework of our class and the new mechanic for squad orders will then be added with the next major update, which is 5.2, in about 4 weeks. But now let's have a look at two things that might be interesting for you as well, starting with a Battlefield art contest that is running on Twitter right now, and where you can send in your screenshots from the game and win up to 3,000 Battlefield coins. The contest is running until July 14th, which is Friday next week, and the only thing you have to do is post your best pictures to Twitter and use the hashtag #NeverBackDownContest. If you want to know more about it, you can find a link to it in the description below. A little tip if you have never done screenshots in the game before, under Options, Display and HUD General, you can turn off the HUD so you don't have any of the overlays, and then just check the different maps for some nice spots. If you are on PC, you can even get pictures without your weapon in the way simply by scrolling your mouse wheel very quick. Then take the shot or record the sequence and save an image out of the video later on. What we also got is a new episode of the Inside Battlefield podcast, and this week it's a follow-up to the last episode where two members of the narrative team were talking about how the lore of 2042 was created. And this week they were answering questions of the community, and if this is interesting for you as well, be sure to check it out. The podcast is not long, only 28 minutes, so it won't take up too much time, and you can find a link to it in the description below. But now let's have a look at everything that was added to the game today with weekly rotation, starting with the playlists. And here there were actually not many changes made, because Conquest 64 will simply stay for another week and Rush XL was removed. In Breakthrough or TDM there were no new modes added at all, and when looking at the community calendar it also seems like this will be the case for the next week as well, because here it also says only Conquest 64 will stay and no new playlists will be added. So we're probably in the playlist summer break right now. Over in Portal, this is luckily different, and we got SMG Rush, which is the classic Rush mode but with 64 players and only limited to SMGs, and Conquest of Ages that takes you on a journey across all the different maps of Portal, but only in the mode Conquest. On Friday, this one will be replaced with a community spotlight called ESB Flashpoint, and this is actually a mode created for esports and is pretty similar to a hardpoint in Call of Duty. There is a capture zone that is moving between different spots across the map, and it's only active for 60 seconds in one spot. When your team captures and holds the zone, you get points, and after 60 seconds the zone moves to another spot and is again active for 60 seconds. The team with the highest score at the end wins the match. According to bfportal.gg, the mode runs as 4 vs 4 or 6 vs 6, but I'm not sure if these are the exact versions that will be added on Friday or if it will have a higher player count, but it definitely sounds interesting and is surely worth a try. Over at the item store, we also got a new bundle today, and this one is called Overdrive, costs 1,750 coins and comes with a legendary specialist set for Angel, a legendary weapon skin for the AM40 that also adds a unique look to the factory barrel, the Shan 2.5 optic and the standard issue magazine. Then there is a headgear for Liz that actually looks pretty cool in combination with the brutal partisan uniform of the battle pass. Then a vehicle skin for the EBLC RAM, a weapon charm and another weapon skin for the PP29. In addition to this, you can also still purchase the Season 2 Tier 0 bundle for another week that contains all of the 4 Tier 0 rewards of the Season 2 Premium Battle Pass. And if you are a member of EA Play, no matter if on console or on PC, you should have also received your monthly subscriber reward, which is a specialist set for Liz this time. If it didn't show up for you after the end of a round already, just check your collection and it should be there. And at the end, let's take a quick look at the weekly missions as usual, and these are again not very challenging and are easily done within only a few matches. In the first section, you have to do 10 kills or damage assists, perform 20 assists in general, but every squad assist you do counts twice, and you have to revive 12 teammates. Once the second section is unlocked, you need to do 8 kills or assists with vehicles, which is easily done when you simply get into the passenger seat of a heli and repair it from the inside, so you get repair assists every time someone else in the heli does a kill. Then there are 24 revives that need to be done, with squad revives counting twice, and 10 objectives captured or neutralized, so just PTFO, and this is done in no time. To complete the third section, you will then have to spot 50 enemies with recon class gadgets, which is easily done with the SOFLAM, TOX or proc sensor, kill 20 spotted enemies and earn 10 defense bonuses by defending objectives. And these last two missions are the only ones that might sound a bit more complicated at first, but they are actually not. To kill spotted enemies, you simply press the spotting button before shooting at them, and for the defense bonus, you have to stay on an objective your team has fully captured, so the objective icon needs to be blue, and then kill all enemies that are trying to retake it. Probably the easiest done as defender on Breakthrough. For the bonus mission, you then simply need to heal 30 teammates, and when you stick to your squad and heal them, the progression is twice as fast. As usual, if you're struggling with any of these missions, you can also complete them in portal modes against AI. Just don't forget to add a password when hosting these codes so you will not suddenly have human players against you. And that's it for today, your weekly overview of what's going on in and around Battlefield 2042. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like or a comment below and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Until then, thanks for watching and thanks to my members for the additional support. I'm Catwoman and you are awesome.